but I could see and I saw political prisoners in C2 detention camp who had these marks. And there was one prisoner who was chained from both his legs and hands tied together and he was made to walk out and in from the jail. And also my neighbor prisoner Dawa Genzin from Nakchu, studied in Chengdu, sent back to Tibet to work in a bank, arrested for masterminding, making and distribution of Free Tibet posters, and arrested therefore along with his brother and sentenced for 18 years of jail terms in 1997. And even today he's still in jail. Earlier he was from C2 detention camp, he was shifted to Trapji, and Trapji he was shifted to the new prison called Chushul prison, and he's still in jail. I've been hearing reports from various other prisoners who were subsequently released and who escaped into India, and they kept on giving me these very, very rare information about him. And I hear that his health is deteriorated, his wife is divorced, he is ill and is in very bad condition. And so I have seen these prisoners. He had this mark around his wrist. He told me that initially when he was arrested, he was handcuffed, and the handcuff kept becoming tighter. And because he was put in the solitary confinement, they used to splash water on him, and it started to rust. And when the handcuff was actually taken away, there was bits of flesh that ripped off from his wrist, and there was a clear mark of that kind of wound around his wrist. I could see it's almost like a wristband. That kind of marks of torture I've seen, and I can only bear witness to that kind of torture that China is continuing to do in that. And my own cellmate, the Chinese from Tenzin, he said that he talked to a fellow prisoner. Prisoners are not supposed to talk to each other, and it was, as a prisoner, it is a worse torture than physical torture to live in prison with nobody to talk to, and to live in prison in a room for all by yourself. And because there is need to say something, express something, sometimes you tend to speak to yourself. And when you realize that you're talking to yourself, you tell yourself that, am I going mad? And you imagine a lot. And those imaginations follow you in your dreams. And in the afternoons when you fall asleep, when you're not supposed to sleep, you fall asleep, and then there were parts of things that were imagination, your afternoon imagination. At the same time, they also looked like dreams. So you were not sure whether you were dreaming or you were imagining. And then I have seen many prison, films like Escape from Sobibor, Papillon, and all these Hollywood films about these prisoners. And all these come back to me, haunt me, and say, Tsundue, you are getting mad. You are becoming, I think these are very, very disturbing moments. And as a prison, denying sleep, people to talk to, these are much more torturous, mental torture. Physical torture is something you can bear with. In fact, you become much more resistant when you are physically tortured. But when you are deprived of these social, civil societies, facilities like talking to people, meet with people, and to be a normal human being, these become much more worse forms of torture.